And am I right in saying this is one of the largest explosions in Europe?
So what I'm told by Thompson's, the demolition contractor, is that they think by weight it's the largest demolition in the world today.
Wow.
One of the roles that I was given when I was elected as the mayor in 2017 was to demolish the former steelworks that sadly closed in 2015. And we only got control of the site 2 years ago, and the plan was to demolish the steelworks over a 7-year period. Now what I can say is by the end of this year, the whole of the steelworks will be demolished. That's 5 years ahead of schedule. And the idea is to make way for new investments. So we're seeing large investments from South Koreans in offshore wind. We're seeing investment from the likes of BP in hydrogen production. We've seen a lot of the oil and gas majors looking at building large-scale gas-fired power plants, carbon capture and storage, potentially things like gigafactories. So they've got a huge amount of interest, but that means we've got to get this down quickly, remediate land so we can get the jobs on site that we need and deserve. They think by weight it's the largest demolition in the world. Roughly about 110,000 tonnes was suspended at about 90 metres.
So how many more things are going to get demolished on this site? Because it's a large site, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's an integrated steelworks. So we've already got rid of the South Bank coke ovens, which was a large integrated coke ovens as part of the works. There was another coke oven at the end of the site, another 1.5 miles away. We've knocked down gas holders, we've knocked down coal bunkers, we've knocked down huge amounts. The Boss plant, obviously where the steel was made and forged, has now come down today, and there's a bit left to do at the seafront end around Redcar blast furnace and a couple of other structures. But like I said, in the next couple of months, the idea and the plan is that that'll all be gone, and then we'll be on to remediation and then getting those jobs on site to create those good quality jobs that an area like this really needs and deserves.
Well, I must say, when it actually went off, I felt the explosion from over here, and we're half a mile away from the actual building that's just gone down. Now, you pressed the button, didn't you?
I did.
What was that like? Tell us.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it's obviously a very, very controlled space. Thompson's were very keen to make sure that everything was done properly. Obviously, I'm not an expert, so my role was very, very controlled, and it was, you know, you can only press the button when we say fire now. On the second time, don't press it before. You know, you press the button, the cable fires out, you can see the kind of the charge run away. But everybody's just delighted that it came down exactly as expected, really, because it is such a big, big demolition to happen.
So about it coming down as expected, what was the plan for it and what executed? Do you know that information?
Well, I can give you a little bit.
Yes.
I try and learn some information, but the engineers will probably be able to explain it better. So there was a series of charges. When you'll have seen on the left-hand side where the legs were really exposed, there was up at height. So we started up at height, first blast went off, then the legs to the left-hand side went off, and then there's a lot of weight down the middle of the Boss plant, and then the charges went there. And because there's such a weight suspended at a height, like I say, over 100,000 tonnes at the height, the idea was that once the legs started to go and the top was detached, then it would allow for the rest to be pulled across. And the only issue was, have they done enough on the calculations to make sure it was pulled across? Pleased to see that it actually worked.
So thank you so much for letting us in.
No, pleasure, and thanks for coming along today.
Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Can I get a picture of you both?